are now rocking with the best. Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast with your brother Old Guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored. And sitting across from me, as always, is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother SamAnt, viral hip hop news. We are in the building. It is a work week Monday. Another edition of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. It feels good to be back. Oh God,
yes,
what's good,
yes,
my
definitely
brother?
Feeling great today. Fly Eagles, fly. The Eagles got the W yesterday against the G-Men, setting up a first round. That's right, SamAnt. First round matchup with the Washington Redskins next week, Monday Night Football. You gotta love it.
What we betting on this, man? Jersey. Next edition of the podcast.
Eagles.
Loser has to wear the jersey. They
Man.
both bad.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Let's just watch and go ahead and because I don't. What do you think? It's gonna be a high scoring game. 28th ranked offense in the league against with the 26th ranked defense in the league. What's it gonna be, man?
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a close one.
It's always
Honestly,
entertaining with them.
Probably
too.
20-17, something crazy.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles going. I want to pick them to win, but the way that secondary's playing, we can't start getting guys back. Anybody's gonna be able to pick them apart. So even your boy McCoy, he's gonna be able to pick them apart.
I would love to talk shit right now, but you never know. Anytime you talk shit about the skit, I would love to be confident about something. Be like, yeah, we're gonna smoke y'all.
Right.
But I really don't know.
Right.
It depends. I wish we had our man back. Rest in peace, HTTR Sean Taylor all day long.
Yes, sir.
Indeed, man. But you had a dope trip. You know what I mean? You was out there doing your thing for the weekend. We grabbed you a dog, man. Talk about the pup, man.
Yeah, man. Went down to World Class Kennels down in Georgia. They actually breed a brand called Doggo Argentino. So I picked me up a little puppy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Down there. Brother's doing his thing. Shout out to him. World Class Kennels. Excuse me, World Class Canines. Type in World Class Canines in YouTube. He got the website and all that. Go check him out and support him, man. Great dog, great person.
Can't wait to meet the dog, man. Right
Yes,
now,
sir.
you're listening to Moz, my man. You're listening to the Beats of Moz. His link
Yeah.
is in the description box right now. Any channel you're listening to,
Right.
go check out his music. Indeed, we got a lot to talk about, man. We got to
Yes,
catch
sir.
up on some things.
Whew.
Your boy Takash.
Yeah,
They're getting sick of him, man.
They
Hip hop news
definitely
and
are.
sense of viral hip hop. They're getting sick,
yeah,
but we got to talk about it.
definitely
He is
do.
in the news, and we got to get our perspectives because the last we talked about it
Mhm.
before you dipped off, he was in some trouble. You know what I mean? He just got caught with the racketeering, just got caught with the RICO charges, and then
Mhm.
a whole bunch of shit came out, man. So just
Right.
real quick, to just give them a quick synopsis on your
Yeah.
thoughts on what's going on with Takash.
Well, yeah. Well, when we, like you said, when we left the other night from here, I was on my way out of town, and you had dropped the video.
Yeah.
So when we did the podcast, we weren't able to cover the information because none of the information dropped about exactly what he was being charged for, this and that, and the particulars. But we did drop a video after that, edited the video, cut in your commentary on it after we left.
Right.
You know what I mean? And since then, a lot has transpired. It seems like it's been months has went by. It's only been a few days, but he was back in court today. Tekashi 6ix-9ine was back in court, and he was did plead not guilty to the federal racketeering, drugs, and gun case that he's being tried with today. He was in court today. No bail still, but he was given a trial date. Accordingly to the article, September 4th, his trial will begin. 2019. And not looking good for him. Also, we're going to report and talk about that he has a new lawyer. We're going to talk about her and what she was accused of. But first, Sam, man, what do you think about 6ix-9ine pleading not guilty? Do you think he's ready to go ahead and start telling?
It looks like it. I mean, if he's going to trial with his life on the line, and he ain't copping no plea early, then it looks like he may be confident in being able to beat this. And if he's confident in being able to beat this, he must have been talking to people now before people start going in on me saying that, because there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of hypocrisy going on in this situation. And let's just keep it 100, because everyone thirsted for this kid to do more and more and more. And now we're hearing that, oh, it was the media that did him wrong. It was the people that did him wrong. No, it was everybody that did him wrong, because the more we thirsted for it, the worse and hungrier he got for the attention. But that is what it is, right? That is what it is. He is in a situation right now where if he don't tell, he's dying in jail. So what would you do in that situation? What would you do out there in that situation? It's a situation where there is no loyalty involved.
Right.
The more news comes out involving the crew that he ran with, the more you realize there was absolutely no loyalty involved. The whole story on TMZ came out where he's on camera basically incriminating himself. And whether or not you feel like that was a publicity stunt, whether that was him being real, the fact of the matter remains that he looked like he was making a boss move on top of all the shit that he has going on right now, it doesn't look good, and it's on camera. So absolutely, with all of that stuff mixed up, this dude ain't really about that life, and you can't blame him for telling. Look, I don't know. But that being said, I want to hear your perspective before we go further.
I mean, it's just like, you know, it's crazy. I think the situation, I don't know if he's going to start telling or whatever, but again, you know, he portrayed, you know, this street person, this dude who ran with goons, and if you did anything, if you touched me, it was going to be a problem. This is what he portrayed, whether it was real or not. He's backtracking. This is what he portrayed. This is what they're going to try him for, what he said. You can't just do all this stuff, you know, and be wrapped up in all this stuff and say you was playing around. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is with them. Lisa Evers did drop a clip. She was at the courthouse today, and she spoke with his new counsel. And I didn't even really notice, but they're pretty much saying that 6ix-9ine said he didn't even meet a Treyway before 2017. So I'm gonna play this clip, you know, real quick, that Lisa Evers put out today of his new lawyers. And then we're gonna talk about this part. This is an interesting spin here as well.
And Mr. Florio and Lance, what do you think about this case?
I think it's a far-reaching indictment that Mr. Hernandez has very little involvement with, other than basically using his social media to promote his music. As far as being part of this Treyway blood gang, completely false, and I think that will come out in court when the facts are brought out.
Now, in the court papers, they talk about him meeting with them or incidents going back to 2013. But tell me why you have a problem with that date.
He doesn't know any. He did not meet any of these individuals until September of 2017.
So right now, what they're trying to do pretty much is absolve him from, you know, because the feds, from hearing that little clip right there, what the feds want to do is build up like a relationship. Says, you know, you knew him since you was 9. You knew him since 2013. So y'all was in a gang. You know what I mean? You brought these people along and y'all been doing this. They're trying to say, the lawyers, it looks like here, that he just kind of brought these people on for security, whatever. He don't really know him like that. He was just an image, this, that. He wasn't really a blood or this, that, and the third. He was just doing this for entertainment purposes. He wasn't really with these guys. Yeah. What do you think about that, SamAnt?
I think that if this does work, and I'm just going to jump right to it. If this does work, it's the end of his rap career. Because everything that led up to this was all on the strength of what he threw out there, the Treyway, what that represented. Gummo, we've seen the video of Gummo. We all know what that was about. It was read out. You know what I mean? We all seen it. We all saw what he represented. The questions were asked on all these interviews. Are you this? Are you that? So it's going to be real hard for the defense team to just chalk this up to social media, especially when we've seen so many rap artists in particular hemmed up, in particular, for what they showed on their social media. Let's not sit here and act like what they go on there is just strictly fake, it's strictly false. If you portray something on there, it will be used against you. It looks like this is one of the primary sole premises on why he's sitting behind bars right now. It's because of what he was spitting out there, combined with what happened outside of here. It makes sense. So that's why he's sitting in custody right now. But the defense is doing what they're supposed to do. They're out there trying to defend their client and doing everything they can to get this kid off. And if they do get him off, shout out to them. But his rap career is absolutely finished.
6ix-9ine snitches, because he already disassociated himself from Treyway, you know what I mean, Shotty, the manager, and pretty much the whole little clique that he was running with. I guess that was kind of his security team. That's what he said with his own mouth. He wanted to bring guys off the street and give them employment. If he turns against them and says, look, I'm willing to tell you everything that they did, and it kind of looks like that picture, his team is kind of setting the pieces like that. They're disassociating themselves. They didn't really know him, as long as they're saying they know him. They wasn't really running like that. He disassociated himself. He dropped him. He fired him, you know, before the Breakfast Club interview. So what do you think if he goes forward and says, you know what, I'm willing to go use federal witness against them, and the fact that the rumors came out that TMZ dropped that he was moved to a facility that's known to house snitches, rats, pedophiles, etc. What do you say about that, SamAnt? Is 6ix-9ine done if he snitches?
Done in regards to what?
Is he done as far as a man, like the street code? Is he breaking the street code? He portrayed this in front of everybody. Is he wrong for turning on his team?
I don't know. No, he's not.
Whoa.
He's not wrong for turning on his team, because it was never his team to begin with. And this is the thing. And here's the thing. No, I'm not going to have a hard time shocking some people, because I'm not saying he's right in that.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's right in that, but what I'm saying is he portrayed something that he never was to begin with. He was never involved in this to begin with. It was all a publicity stunt. It was all for fake. It was all phony. It was all this. It was all that. Blah, 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 whatever. So whoever took this seriously outside of the people directly involved, shame on them. The people out here watching and really sitting here thinking this is serious, shame on them. But it is sitting here and having him in some trouble with the feds and some real serious people. So that being said, if he snitches on his team, the very team that was about to kill him anyway, the very team that was about to kill, you know what I mean, doing all these things, allegedly do whatever anyway, whatever was supposed to go on, and he's about to do time, I ask you, oh God, what would you do? Now, we're in different situations. We're not out there in the cold. We're not doing this, but he claims he never was anyway.
Well, let's put it in context. You got to put all of this stuff in context first, because first of all, the reason they're supposed to be going to go kill him is because he fired him and got rid of him. You know what I mean? So if you go back though, they was running together, and the reason, not only because he was running with them, because allegedly they committed crimes. They shot people. They was putting hits on people, et cetera, et cetera. You know, other crimes were committed. That's why they're in trouble. So it's like the situation is me and you, we on camera, we repping the same organization. We go down together. We all go down. Now I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know these dudes. I'm snitching on them. This was all fake. I was just a rapper. That's what it's looking like right now with 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? So how could anybody say that that's a I don't know. I don't want to even say right, because it depends whether it's a street code or then it's the real code. You know what I mean? And it's different. You know what I mean? Some people think that civilians don't live by that same street code. As far as that civilians
what we grew up on.
Yeah, that's what kind of we grew up on, definitely. You know what I mean? And there's codes out there. So, 6ix9ine right now, to me personally, I think that he needs to just go down and not be the Frank Lucas of the situation, because he perpetuated, this, you know what I mean? Period. And these you can't say that he never knew him. These was his mans. That was his man. They were traveling the world together. That was his team. They was in, supposed shootouts together. Yeah. Allegedly. So
we live in a whole different age though. This is 2018 where there are no codes. Let's keep it 100. There are no codes out here today. Because if there were codes out here, this alleged hit or whatever was supposed to be going on would have never been taped. That had never been taped. These situations that we see going on with rappers showing their money, showing their guns, this would have never happened. Snitching and all that stuff would have never went down. There is no code in 2018. So you cannot be surprised when I say, hell yeah, he should snitch, because somebody's going to snitch on somebody in this situation. Absolutely. I've sat here and said a million times, you don't show or tell. It's a whole different game out here right now. This kid's freedom's on the line, and he's never going to rap again. He has $1.7 million allegedly.
We got to talk about that too. Yeah.
That's gone.
Right. That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys, somebody that finds himself real smart in this situation is my man Casanova. Let me talk about him.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And
let me just kind of tie all of this in. Looking back at this night, it was one of the defining moments of my life as a man. I was faced with a dilemma, a life-changing decision I had to make. Should I do something to him and everything right now and go to jail, or should I look him in his eyes, talk to him like a man, and give him a way out? I was waiting to catch him lacking for weeks and months. I finally did. The devil placed him right in my hands. If you've seen how it unfolded, you would have understood why I did what I did. I had to play chess, not checkers. After my first look in his eyes up close, reading his body language, I understood he was a misled good kid and didn't know what he signed up for. Okay. Before this happened, I had people try to belittle me. My gangster club stopped booking me. DJ stopped playing my music. Homies turned their back on me. People trying to throw batteries in my back, praying I crash out. He typed. Even after we squashed it, people was mad at me. Even though I made the decision, thinking of me and others, I realized negativity will override positive vibes any day. The people that wanted me to win was happy, while the people that wanted me to fail was mad. While everyone wanted to kill him, people thought I would be their sacrifice and saver and do it. But how can you use me as a pawn when I'm a king? Okay. Killing. Okay, hold on. Fast forward to now. The same way everyone was calling him stupid and bashing him is the same way y'all would have been doing to me, even if I would have went out like a quote unquote G. But in all actuality, I did go out like a G. I thought and used my brain. And I'm here free to talk about it. My next move will be a power move. Stay tuned. Just remember that there is no doubling back for the ones that turn their back. And for the record, I still don't want to be the king of New York. New York is what it is.
No, I mean, I definitely agree with a large percentage of what he said. Pretty much in reference to 6ix9ine, pretty much saying that he's he could have did what he did to him or whatever. He had the opportunity, but he kind of seen that he was lost and misguided. And I'm here to say I agree with him and all that, and that's cool. And I'm glad that he did that. I'm glad he didn't hurt him. But the feds don't care about none of that. And the reason I'm saying it is because there's a lot of misguided, people who make mistakes and they gotta pay for those mistakes.
Yeah.
They're throwing this on this, man. Like, it's a lot of misguided, children out here in the streets that we can say, oh, he made a bad decision and he wasn't really like that, but he killed somebody or he did this to somebody. So he gotta pay that price. So, if you perpetuating that type of stuff, people are going to bring that to you. And this is the attention that he brought to himself. And it seems like, I myself don't want to see any person go to jail, like that. But, he talked big shit. He definitely talked big shit. And the ones that talk big shit and live big shit, in my opinion, you should go down, with the ship. If that's what you was talking. You was this dude. You can't just start turning and pointing fingers, at people. But, honorable thing what Casanova said, man, that's real talk. And I think people could definitely learn, from that.
Absolutely. And I think even in me saying that he's going to point fingers, I still think he's doing time. I don't think it's going to be enough.
Oh, no doubt.
He's incriminated himself too much.
Yeah, you're right.
You're asking me, should he snitch? Will he snitch? Yep. Because
I think he may probably will. Yeah.
And is it okay? You're going to sit up in jail and you live this life. You didn't live the life. Come on, man. I think that's clear now. And there's nothing, I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with that because you talked and you walked it for a long time. So you made this bed. You're going to have to sleep on it. You said, and I agree 100%. We don't want to see anybody sitting in a jail cell. That's not something that we agree on. But you made this bed. You're going to have to sleep on it no matter who you tell on.
Right.
Your rap career is over. Your life has officially changed because you put out a persona that you weren't ready to all the way back up, and you did it in a dumbass way. And it's a real shame. It's a shame.
It's sad, man. So shout out to Casanova 2 times, 2X, however you say that. And I know people are going to correct this in the comment section. But shout out to that brother. Some real good words right there of inspiration. You're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and SamAnt. Today, exclusively on iTunes, all around the world, Spotify, and wherever you're listening now. Just a couple quick shout outs to the people listening in Violin, AC, LA, and I think Georgia, Atlanta. You know what I mean? We seen New York. Definitely shout out to y'all, man. Definitely we getting it in. So I'm gonna talk about this Meek Mill situation, talking about court and different things. Meek Mill, dropped a little trailer today for some justice reform, prison reform. So I'm gonna play this little trailer by Meek Mill. I'm gonna get your thoughts on this, Sam, man. Yeah.
The criminal justice system has a set of rights created to protect you. But do you think it's really protecting us? You had a right to remain silent, but that really means you had a right to be silenced, doubted, interrogated, suspected. The color of your skin can and will be used against you in a court of law. You had a right to be innocent until proven guilty. But somehow, about 47% of the wrongly convicted are black. And if you don't remain perfect, with the smallest slip-up, smallest infraction, the most honest mistake, you're gonna join us, the 80% who come back to prison within 5 years, as I did. That's when you realize they didn't bring us here to thrive. They brought us here to build this. The plantation and the prison are actually no different. The past is the present. It ain't no coincidence.
So yeah, Sam, man, you see that, interesting trailer, by Meek Mill today, dropping that on Instagram. What are your thoughts initially on that trailer by Meek Mill? Very different. We talked about this in the pre-production. Yeah,
well, it's something that we've expressed throughout us as a culture throughout time. We know this, but we've never heard this publicly spoke ever before. So it kind of surprised us, and the cynical side of us started running a little bit. But I'm going to say something live on air that I didn't say on the pre-production meeting, and it just goes to show you what society we live in today, because we can put money toward a situation and broadcast whatever we want.
Right.
Someone may or may not wanted this to come out, but they may have couldn't have stopped it because of someone else being able to put some real money behind a situation and just drop it. And that's where we're at, as opposed to the early 90s, the 80s, or even maybe the early 2000s. This kind of power wasn't offered to us where we can kind of hear these things. So,
that's facts.
You know what I mean? I would like to lean toward this side, because Meek Mill is in a situation and in a system where he could still lose his life and his freedom.
Oh, yeah.
Even through all of the celebrity
That's right.
and everything that's going on, he's still one quote unquote mistake or honest, whatever, of losing his freedom again. And that's dangerous. So I don't think that he'd be out here agenda based necessarily, like we automatically kind of jump to, and we got great conversation on that. But I think that there just goes to show you that where money in 2018 can go, nothing really can stop you. I'm interested to see what he's going to do going further with this. Yeah, because it's known.
Well, my thing is like I'm loving the way they're doing it with the media, like you said, because a lot of the stuff that's negative or against us is done with the media, like we talked about movies, and stuff. So it's only right that you fight back with that same apparatus. So Meek Mill, I think the reason why I think it's always going to be skepticism for people like that, because the thing is that every time or anytime that somebody's supposed to be, coming out and speaking against the so-called system or the agenda of the system, they're either, paid to do so, or how come they not being destroyed, this, that, and the third. But you made a great point, when you said that he kind of is, and this is the reason why he's doing it. And he's still, with all the money, all the girls, all the hits on the billboard, he can still be back in jail tomorrow, and just be sitting begging pretty much to get out, paying millions of dollars, and still can't get out of jail. So yeah, man, I have to agree, and we have to salute that, because if you look at people like Pac, and other activists that you have right now in the hip hop arena, you have to say Meek Mill is leading the charge. He's actually using his platform now for the benefit of his people, as opposed to just continuing to rap about the nonsense, the Molly, the popping the perks, the alcohol. May do a little bit of that here and there, but this is huge. We gotta definitely salute, Meek Mill on this. You're gonna have your skeptics. That's with anything, anything you do. But long as like you said, I can't wait to see, what this, brings out in the future. And I definitely agree.
Do you feel like the Champions album coming up November 30th, is that going to be a political heavy album? And if so, do you think it'll get a lot of backlash? Because we see where he's going. Oodles and Noodles came out. That was heavy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was definitely going toward that side of just how we came up. And this is the lane that he seems to be real strong and passionate about. So are we going to get a real political album, i.e. like a 444 kind of joint? Or Nas-esque kind of album? What do you expect from Meek Mill?
You know what? It's crazy you say that, because I was heard a clip of that this morning, and I'm like, man, this album, I'm kind of really looking forward to this album. It's gonna be real dope, because that's an aspect. But it's almost like Meek Mill is reaching a level like when Jay-Z when he put the Blueprint out. You know what I mean? He just, not to say that he was super political at that point, but he's just really starting to get to a point in his career where it's just like his music is really, starting to come into his own and be real legendary. And I have to, say that about Meek Mill, especially him moving, towards more political. And it's funny that you say that once again, because I think he's still going to mix what he has to do. He's going to be Meek Mill, but he's going to give you maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 songs where it's like, yo, I got to make the hood feel this. You know what I mean? We got to go back, because I think the situation with Meek, he kind of got on the fast track, made a lot of money, and kind of, not to say that he lost himself, but kind of lost, in touch of reality, and going back in jail a few times and seeing that, look, none of this really means nothing. You know what I mean? And he's now using his platform and his influence now to change those things that got him in the situation that he's in. Right. You know what I mean? And as we know, the color of your skin, that's another thing we was talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, colorism and racism, 2 major things that kind of still get swept under the rug. So real dope what Meek's doing, man. Gotta salute it.
I gotta salute it. And the evolution is definitely something to pay attention to. Yeah. Because when you see where he went through, and he's always been a rapper to talk about life experiences. Always been one of those rappers to take you through his life through his eyes. And it's been dope. And him going through what he's went through these last couple of years and kind of evolving as a man. And we all know as we grow up, we kind of have these evolutions. And he had to evolve in the prison system and see how unfair it was for popping willies and going to rehab over a 10 to 12 year span. Now he's sitting in jail, losing time, losing his life, losing his, you know what I mean? Wow. I got a bigger platform to talk on in the last couple of records. Yeah, we got Meek, but it's been an evolution, and definitely excited to see what comes out on this album when it comes out further. Like you said, you're going to have your critics. We were critics
Yeah.
For a couple seconds before we got to really sit back and dive into the situation. We think this is dope and look forward to seeing more, man.
Yes, sir. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God, and SamAnt. We going in today. Everybody on our YouTube platform, do me a favor, hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. We do appreciate each and every listener on whatever platform that you're listening on. SamAnt, what do you think about this, the Dwight Howard situation?
Damn.
You know what I mean? That came out where pretty much, not to get too deep into it, but a person who's supposed to be a transgender, you know what I mean, is pretty much saying that they had a relationship together. When you think about that, you man Dwight and SamAnt, I got to get to this one, SamAnt, because this is going to be interesting right here when I read this one to you, because we were kind of just talking about this situation. Tekashi 6ix-9ine legal team just dropped a statement pretty much saying they're denying any allegation that he's going to be snitching. Now, his lawyer, Lazario, said that 6ix-9ine is not giving state's evidence, and the transfer to the new facility was simply made due to threats. So, contrary to what people are saying, what people believe, his attorney did give a statement saying 6ix-9ine is not giving the state evidence, and the transfer to the new facility was simply made because of threats that he got, I guess, on his life and whatnot. SamAnt, what do you think about that? Do you think 6ix-9ine is going to snitch later, or just, you know, what do you think about his lawyer putting that out there right now to the fam?
I believe it, and I'm not going to speculate on what this kid's going to do or not do. I said what he should do or what I think he's going to do just based off of loyalty, and there is no real loyalty in this involved. Somebody's going to tell on somebody, so who's going to tell first? If this is a race, you want to win the fucking race, right? So that's just based off of the speculation I go on. But the fact that he did plead not guilty and he's willing to go to trial for his life does sit on the fact that maybe he didn't tell on somebody, because we both agree that he's going to do some kind of jail time. He's
going to do some type of jail time, and it might be a situation, you know, where his lawyers think they can get him out of this. Right. You know what I mean? They feel like they got a, you know, shot. And even though, you know, we talk about percentages and, you know, the 90, this, that, there is that small percentage of, you know, and a lot of people always point to the T.I. situation. They say, well, man, he was facing 30 years, you know, and he got out with a year. You know what I mean? A year and a day. I'm just saying, a year and a day. People, it's no paperwork on T.I. There's no paperwork, you know what I mean, on him. But people always throw that out there and say, you know, how did T.I. get out of that situation? He had money. He had damn good lawyers. You know what I mean? He had fame, popularity, and everything behind him. This kid definitely has it. His music's only going to get better, and only get more popular, as we're still speaking about him days after it. As soon as, you know, he goes to trial, to be another big thing. And then, you know, more and more, every time something happens, he can slip and fall, slip on a banana peel, take a fart, take a shit. 6ix-9ine did the 6ix-9ine did that. But this is one, you know, I think is good, you know, to put out there and speak on this one, because a lot of people thinking that, you know, is going, you know, that way. You know, especially for that transfer, when TMZ, I think, put that out there, that kind of was like the nail in the coffin.
Well, they painted it that way. And that's a real dangerous platform, because they like paint narratives. They dropped that about him, about he's transferring jails for snitches and this, and they didn't have to put that like that, but they did. And then you got the, he put a hit out on this dude, and they got the 2 minutes worth of coverage that somebody dropped to them. It's like, yo, they're doing whatever they can to make sure this kid goes to jail, because they know if he goes to jail for life, that's going to be one of the top headlines they ever get. It's real cynical how they move shit.
I got to ask you this,
you know what I mean?
About you talked about this earlier, social media now. It's never been anything like this before. Remember like the OJ thing? Yeah. Imagine we had social media then. Man. How it would have been. It's like we had to wait for the news. Now it's like everything is just playing out, you know, on social media. Do you think that the judges, you know, are being swayed by what goes on with social media in the jurors too? That's going to be, you know, trying the case and stuff.
We know the power in it.
Yeah.
And if you got a Facebook, if you got a Twitter, no matter if you're a judge, no matter if you're a juror, you know what I mean, sitting in the case or presiding over the case, and you happen to go home and check your Facebook and you see something, how can't something via TMZ steer you? You're a human being. It's the power we got nowadays. You're absolutely correct in that. So it's 100% accurate to sit here and go, maybe, because we know it's not 100% all objectivity when it comes to courtrooms. We know if the dude is cool with the lawyer or this or that. And we all know that the jurors have lives. So if they see this going on, like you said, in the OJ situation, all we got was the reporting from the courtroom. There wasn't anybody on here. There weren't reports like this. And this is why we got to be careful on these platforms and how we steer a narrative. You got to be fucking objective. Right. Because you go and do thousands, 100,000s of views, and your narrative is steered this way or that way based off of your fucking biased opinion, right? You may be staring a juror that be watching you sitting here going, yeah, you know what? He's right. She's right.
And this is what I'm thinking they're going in closing, you know, because I got to actually remind you got to go too. You know what I mean? In closing with the 6ix9ine situation, I think what his team is trying to do is kind of paint him, and this may even work with different jurors. You might get some jurors that 6ix9ine fans that might be sitting up in there, you know, and they might try to stare like, you know, he was just influenced by these goons, these thugs around him. He's just nice entertainer kid, you know, give him another chance. You know, he didn't do none of the thing. There's no evidence of him doing any other thing. It was just entertainment. Not saying it's going to work, but this is their job to paint that picture. Yeah, at this point. And
if you look at it, if he wasn't involved and it was just somebody that was just painting a picture and portraying this image, then it would make sense for him not to snitch on people that he doesn't know. How can I snitch on A, B, or C if I don't know what they're doing? I'm not involved. I don't do this shit. I'm just sitting here on camera with the thing on, jumping around like they told me to. I don't know who's doing shit behind the scenes. They put the camera on and told me to say this about this dude. He even knew I was going to say it.
I
don't know. I'm just a rapper. Good angle. You never know.
Good angle. You never know. And, you know, he has some pretty high-powered attorneys, if you say so. One of his attorneys was accused, you know, she was acquitted, you know, of sneaking in pills, a turkey sandwich, and some contraband, you know, to one of her clients back in the day. But she was acquitted. That was the article Vlad TV dropped earlier.
Shout out to Vlad for always dropping the inside scoops on me.
Yeah, man. But you tuned into another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast with your brother, Oh God, and SamAnt over there from Viral Hip Hop News in the building today. If you're listening on YouTube, do me a favor, fam. Hit the like button for me. I need everybody to share this video. Another episode in the books. We going harder than ever, man. We back like we never left, son.
Indeed. I challenge each and every one of y'all at Viral Hip Hop News, Uncensored, the Uncensored True Podcast official channel, because we see the numbers over at the podcast. We see the Spotify, the iTunes. Shout out to everyone over at iTunes with the Apple phones subscribing to the movement. I challenge everyone with an Android, everyone with a damn phone in general who listens to these podcasts to go over to iTunes, Spotify, Google Play right now and subscribe to the podcast, where you're going to get exclusive content that you're not going to hear on YouTube. We hear the comments. We see that y'all don't want us to get all the way uncensored, or y'all challenge us to get all the way uncensored. Well, we do right here. So go on to Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, listen to us, get the movement up. Let's make this what it is, one of the best podcasts out here today. Let's work.
Yes, sir. With that being said, family, we're out of here. Go into the description box. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that good stuff. All the information right down in the description box, no matter what channel you're watching on. I'm your brother, Oh God, that's SamAnt. This is the Uncensored Truth Podcast. We out of here.